Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey there, hi there, ho there. This is RHJunior, RHJunior, Reality Check, formerly known as Ben Bruin, also known. Coming to you live over the system of tubes, making the boob tube of YouTube, bringing you another broadcast of my live streaming, to a barely live audience. A little show I like to call Spleen Squeezins. Shake your groove thing. Hey there, everybody. For all of those of you tuning in, I'm starting another broadcast today, trying to make this a regular thing, trying to make everything a regular thing, but I'm as irregular as a man can get without needing fiber. But here we go. Please don't talk about fiber. I just ate the last 4 frozen burritos in my freezer, and I'm regretting things. I'm having regrets about all my life decisions at this point. Oh, hey, and allow me to introduce you to one of my little mascots here. This is the Fox. The Fox character from my comic strip Tally Ho. He is playing the violin, probably playing My Heart Bleeds for you, and passing the hat, hoping that everybody will throw in a little, throw in a buck or two. I've got a PayPal button over on www.rhjunior.com, and I also have a Patreon page. Those who do become sponsors on Patreon do get access to a little bit extra artwork that I put up every now and then. A few little odds and ends that I set aside for them. Okay, now I'm going to be, let's see here, going to start some musica. I got a grand total of 22 minutes, on this particular soundtrack. Come on. We'll loop it. For some reason, I still haven't figured out the music selection thingy. It's not auto playing. It's still not auto playing on YouTube. I can't figure that out. It's driving me bonkers. It's just me here right now. Just me here. The computer is still convinced that my service is crappy. I can't deny that. Okay, I'll be blunt. I am trying to raise money. I have got to raise some cash. Okay, this month was bad for the bills. Next month is going to be worse. In addition to being behind on my lot rent, I have got to pay. I have got to, got the electric company and the gas company and the internet service and, well, not the gas company, the trash company, trash pickup. The trash pickup people are going to be sending me a bill for $140. Okay, I gotta set aside at least $200 or $300 to send to my landlord. And I'll still, and that'll still just be, just the expenses for this coming month. I got about $250 for the lot rent, $140 for the gas, for the trash, and then I've got about $80 for the electric company, $60 for the internet, and I just discovered not only is my roof leaking, the tiles are starting to come loose in the bathroom, where the rain's coming through. The rain's coming through all down the left side, left side of my trail. It's leaking badly, and I've got to find somebody and pay them a princely sum to buy a bucket of tar, go up on my roof, and slather it all over the place. Otherwise, I won't have a roof in a couple of months. You know, So please, please be generous. As anyone, yeah, I do commissions. I do cheesecake. I do pictures. I do greeting cards. Yeah, let me show you some of the stuff I do. It's a window capture too. Okay, file, open. Got to delete that. Okay. Let's see. Documents. I do commissions of all sorts. As Daniel Mark can tell you, yes, I do cheesecake. I don't do nudes. But yes, I do cheesecake. I do black and white art. I do color art. It's all digital, though. It's all digital. My commission rates are up on the board. You just go to my front page, go to the top, click on commissions, and Viola. There you are. This is just me showing off some of the things I've done here. It's just a little of this, little of that, little of this, little of that. So you get an idea of my range. I also do greeting cards and birthday cards. I've been doing those for years. My rates have gone up a little bit in the past few months, just because, quite frankly, I was getting swamped with $20 commissions, $20, $30 commissions, and the cost to benefit ratio was kind of skewed. So. Oh, goodness. Just to give you a general idea, the kind of tasty cheesecake that I will do. I'm looking for something. Let's see here. Desktops. No, it's not. It's desktops. Documents. DVD. That reminds me, I've got to do a desktop for strips. I spent way too much time trying to figure out, what are the proper ratios for a desktop, and so I just finally started drawing pictures. Here's a desktop, and yay, and away we went. This is actually a scene. It's from Tales of the Questor. It's a little world building thing. Rakonans do not believe in merely decorative fountains. The public fountains are there so that for washing, cleaning, bathing, drinking, it's a water supply. It's for the community, and they're not gonna, these partially aquatic intelligent species. They're not gonna waste water on just floating around looking pretty. No. You say public fountain, they say wading pool. Of course, this one has been modified to make the droplets of water buoyant. It's ever so special. This is another desktop I did. This is the official calendar of Tales of the Questor. There are 13 months. The Rakonans, by the Rakonan calendar, there are 13 months, each one named after a different type of tree or plant. Holly isn't a tree, and neither is hazel, but the months of the year are birch, rowan, ash, alder, willow, hawthorn, oak, holly, hazel, vine, ivy, reed, and elder. The months are exactly 28 days long. The years are exactly 364 days long. The winter solstice is on the 1st of birch. The spring equinox is on the 8th of alder. The summer solstice is on the 15th of oak. And the autumn equinox is on the 22nd of vine. You can actually tell what day of the month it is by the phases of the moon. Or at least you can tell what weekend it is. They have two moons, Abhol and Kashe. Abhol is apple and Kashe is cheese. One orbits every 7. Abhol orbits every 7 days. Kashe orbits every 28 days. Exactly. They're important. It's even got a list of their important religious, their important holidays anyway, not necessarily religious. Nativity, or their version of Christmas, is the 1st of Ash. Blessed Sunday is the 15th of alder. First harvest is the 25th of hawthorn. Choosing day is the 15th of oak. King's Day is the 5th of holly, and the last harvest is the 28th of vine. Is that not nifty? For those who wonder, okay, Nativity is the celebration of the birth of the Messiah. Unlike on Earth, they do not celebrate that in December, or the equivalent of the middle of winter. You see, because Christ was born in spring. How do we know that? Because the shepherds were watching their flocks by night. The only time the flocks are allowed to roam around by night, at night, the shepherds in the Middle East, they guide their sheep into a penned-in area and lock them up for the night. The only time that they're allowed out of the pen at night to wander around is during lambing season, which is in the spring. Of course, first harvest, Blessed Sunday is their equivalent of Easter. The first harvest is self-explanatory. Choosing Day is the day that their young people proclaim their intended career path. It's not cast iron, kids change, but there it is. It's a matter of it's just a coming of age thing for them. King's Day is when the Rakonans celebrate. It's basically a sort of Guy Fawkes Day for them. It's commemorating the day that the kings from the surrounding kingdoms tried to invade their land and conquer them, and did not live to regret it. Darn, there goes the music. Too loud, too loud. And of course, last harvest is the final harvest of the year. Living as they do. Okay. This is I didn't bother doing wedding episodes, so to speak. I didn't do weddings for my characters. When the characters get married, I'll show a wedding photo of them, but I won't. I didn't bother doing the wedding thing because it's kind of cliched and tiresome. Yes, that is their wedding photo. No, she did not wear white. Because she didn't want to. That's why. For those of you wondering how in Little Bit and Tagger, or how their relationship's going to mature, you can tell by the look on his face his hormones just got carbonated. Okay, oh dear. Oh, goodness gracious. I may have to make a run for the restroom in a minute. My tummy tum is acting up. They grown purty in Malarkey County. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay, my stomach just decided today was a good day to, just throw a hissy. I'm gonna have to, whoo my. I'm gonna have to run to the restroom here. Okay, I will be back in a few minutes, hopefully. And I have returned. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Turn that off. Window capture. No, that's not it. That's window capture. Bow chicka bow wow. Bow chicky bow bow. Thank you for waiting. But I couldn't. I kid you not. It was going to get ugly in a minute. The stream health on this thing is just so sad. Well, it says stream health is good at the moment, but the image is so blurry. I have no idea how to fix it either. Let me see, is there a setting on here? I know there's probably a setting out here that's just that I'm not finding. Anyway, that's angering. That's frustrating. That's infuriating. Can't do anything about it. Let's see if I've got a general stream output. Let's see. I have no idea what any of these things do, so I'm better off leaving them alone. Okay, there's one person in channel. It's me, and it's you. So, who are you, and what do you do for a living, and how the heck are you? And I get no answer. What this is life. This is me. This is life. I'm waiting for it to cool off just a little bit more out here. Yeah. Just right now, I've got an air conditioner blowing on me, and I've got a fan blowing on me, and it's taking God's own effort just to stay cool. What I was doing, I was just showing off some of the artwork that I do. Some of the I do pinups, I do desktops, I do black and white, I do color, fantasy, sci-fi, of course, a lot of funny animal drawings. Okay. I do cute. I do all this stuff. Little world building stuff here. This picture here is actually a remake of a drawing I did almost 20 years ago. I'm very pleased with the results, to say the least. I think what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fall back in love with my art, with my characters. It's gotten to the point where I pick up a pencil or a pen to draw something, to draw one of my comics, and I'm like, ugh. I used to love to revisit the fantasy worlds I made. I used to thrive on it, and I really want to recapture that sensation, that feeling, to revitalize myself as a creator, God willing and God permitting. I'm tired of I'm tired of producing work that's just drudgery, and when it's drudgery, it shows. It's I don't, you know. You know, when I finally gave up and canceled the probability bomb, I will be clear. I was not expecting anybody to just say, you know, I fully intended to repay everyone, though it was going to take me. It's still going to take me ages to do so, but quite a number of people have come forward and said, you know, don't worry about it, and I am uh, incredibly grateful to those people because uh, the toothpaste tube is getting squeezed at both ends right now, and but I fully expected to you know just to have to go through with this all for everyone, you know, and I don't want anybody to think that I was trying to slough off. But when it comes down to it, between the printing, between having a dozen more characters yet to even be put in the story, who are supposed to get front stage speaking lines, between the art gallery that had to be done, the story that had to be finished, the art gallery that had to be done, the print run that had to be purchased, the delivery, and having it delivered to me, signed, and then sent back out to everyone, and that was just a start. When all was said and done, I don't want to go into another spiral. I mean, I had a complete breakdown last night. I had a complete meltdown. And sorry to say, I took the audience along with me. So I have to apologize to everybody for that. I deleted that show, quite frankly. Do I have an audience? Is there anybody out there? Is somebody just logging on automatically? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Only one participant, according to this, me. It's 7:30 at night, 7:30 in the evening, and nobody home. I feel like 10 miles of bad road. I do not kid you. I need somebody to talk to. That's one of the fatal flaws of this system. Is that for me to be at my best, for me to feel like I'm functioning, like I'm working at something, I have to have somebody to talk to. Just hey, finally we got somebody here, YouTuber. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Just showing off a few things, kind of artwork I provide. You can commission me for. Please commission me. And let everybody know that my website is open for commissions, for consignments, for donations, for pledges. Just go to www.rhjunior.com and click the associated links. This is just some of the artwork I do. This is a drawing. This is a desktop. It's also a drawing of a A portion of the city entails of the Questor, the capital city sanctuary. This is the Tumble Downs, or one part of it. They tend to build, the people on the wrong side of the tracks, or the financially unfortunate among the Raconans. They tend to build upwards, and they really aren't too picky about OSHA compliance. This is Quentin's airship, the Questor's Promise. The sails are a little lopsided, but yeah, it's hard to tell. And of course, Penny from the currently stalled for all eternity Goblin Hollow. In her favorite Halloween outfit. In case you haven't guessed, I likes me some cute cheesecake. So, thank you. I think the low-carb diet, let's put it this way, I just ate 4 burritos. They were the last frozen burritos in the fridge. So, I'm paying for that. But, yeah, low-carb. I don't know if I'm going to have the willpower right now. I really don't. Because, I got issues right now. Like I've been telling the empty room earlier. The bills this month have been bad, real bad, and they're going to get worse next month because the trash company wants $140 next month. The trash pickup guys, $140. That's on top of my lot rent, on top of my the electric, internet. Well, let me see here. Let me see here. It's a calculator. Pull out a calculator and see what this is. Okay, let's see. I have no idea what. Okay, I have got to come up with that's lot rent plus electricity plus internet plus trash plus what else? I know I'm forgetting something. Let's see. Trash, internet, lot rent, electricity, let's see. Trash, lot rent. Oh yeah. Plus the lawnmower guy. I've arranged it so he only shows up once a month and it still cost me $50 a month to get my lawn mowed. Or more. They're the only people I could find. And let's see. I also need to, you got to figure at least a couple $100 at least to get my roof fixed, because my roof is leaking and the tiles are there's the roof's starting to come down in the bathroom. The tile, the insulation panels and tiles are starting to come down in the bathroom. They're sagging. And it's going to be at least a couple $100, just to hire somebody. And that's not even counting the cost of the materials, the tar and all that other crap. Oh, well, basically, yeah. I need to, and that's not even counting trying to catch up on my lot rent. I did not make a lot rent payment this month. I couldn't, because I had everybody else to pay off. Oh yeah, IRS. I got to send them about another $55 every month. So yeah, more than twice what I actually bring in every month. And I have no idea how close I am to having the landlord send the park custodian over here to boom, 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 boom. When are you going to send some money? So yeah, I'm desperately pitching commissions and commissions and pledges and donations and begging and passing the hat, and you get the basic idea. And right now, this is me just showing off what kind of artwork I do. For anybody who wants to know, might want to hire me. I haven't heard back from the one fella, Wild Wired Weasel. I'm kind of concerned. I hope I haven't. I hope he isn't. He hasn't said anything. I don't know what the situation is. Whether he doesn't have any more art to commission from me, or his project is done, or what. It's leaving me a little curious, a little worried. Hope he's okay. Actually, I need to find out. Oh, didn't you hear he got hit by a bus? That'd be fun. Oh, Twizzlers ain't the problem, buddy. It's like, with a diet, when you're trying to go low carb, it's all the bread, all the starches, all the bread, all the sugar, and to a lesser extent, all the vegetable oil. If you're gonna use, you're better off using animal fats, butter, lard, tallow. That's beef lard. Beef lard. We handle that better. Vegetable oil. It's crazy though. It's crazy though. Okay, on the one side, you've got the vegans, the vegetarian. They want us all to graze like bunnies, and they're out. And on the other side, you have the militant keto diet types. I will note, one side is out there trying to convince us that milk can be made from almonds. The other side is out there trying to convince us that you can make bread from almonds. Both sides have gone so far that they're making fake food out of other food to try and convince us that it's real food. It's sad. It's pathetic. Commissions, greeting cards. I do all sorts of commission. Daniel Meyer. This is the most recent anniversary pick I did for him and his wife. Salacious. He actually had it printed and framed and is hanging in his house. I'm like, goodness. I don't know what to think of that. Anyway, I got a couple of comic strips that I owe him, so let's get those done. Oops. Now, basically, I have got to figure out a way, to raise. I've got to try and raise in the next 21 days. I have to raise about $400 or $500 more than I normally make. Just to make sure that everything doesn't go flying off the rails. And every time I turn around, there's a new expense, like the roof. I'm sitting in the bathroom, I look up, and the ceiling over my bathtub is sagging down. There's a gap. I can see up into the underside of the actual roof. And there are water stains all up and down that end of the house on the left side of the wall. I can't afford massive repairs. I can't even afford to send somebody up there with a bucket of tar right now. And tracking somebody down who will actually do the job. That's a task and a half in itself. You get people. I just want somebody to put tar up on it. We need we need to go out and make an assessment, and then we have to have a contract. And we just, dude, you're smearing tar on a roof. This isn't an episode of This Old House. Come on. The nonsense that you have to go through just to find somebody who will do the job. They want like umpty dollars just to come out and say hello. Apparently, the latest thing in commissions for furry artists, particularly adult art, shall we call it, is the Your Character Here commission. They post up a general line drawing showing the characters in, shall we say, their final pose, and saying you can have your character here, and for X amount of dollars. And each character is labeled with bid for this here, bid for this here, or with a price. There's one guy. My word, I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. He had a pencil sketch up of your character here, and the three characters in the front. He had a couple of little vignette scenes in the background, but the three characters in the front, $2,600. $2,600. And he apparently fully expects to get, this is apparently a regular thing he does. $2,600. He is going to make more money drawing part of a smutty picture not even the whole thing, he is going to make more drawing part of a smutty picture than I will probably make in the rest of the year. I think you can understand my frustration and what sort of constant temptation I go through. Being an artist especially in the furry community, is like being able to produce crack cocaine from your fingers at will. But only if you're willing to draw, well, smut. It's kind of infuriating. Some days I just want to weep in frustration. They remind you, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your success to other people. But I'd have to have some success to compare it to, you know. Because me, what do I make over commission? Uh, it's controversial that I recently raised. I recently doubled my prices to sort of catch up with inflation, and that's pretty much guaranteed. I'm not going to have any work at all for ages. But this guy, he can go out, draw two boobs on a stick, and he makes enough to buy a car. You know. So you can understand where there are times I look at it, why can't I get a taste? Be doing the same thing, just start drawing nipples on everything, and a bang, and bang, bang, away I'd go. You'll have to ignore me because I get like this when I'm stressed out. I start talking about this stupid issue over and over and over again because hey, well, I'm not too particularly thrilled about professional artists who go out there and they like feed their dog 15 tubes of paint and then have him crap on a canvas, and the next thing you know they're making millions. That makes me want to scream too. I tried to do the modern art thing, but I'm apparently not a good enough con artist. I'm not a good enough bullshitter to make it as a so-called modern artist. One time I picked up a book. It was supposed to be advice on being an artist, that kind of thing. The career side of it. And I looked through it. Nearly all the advice was about what kind of hors d'oeuvres to have at your art gallery showing. This is the gambit of it. It consists. The art world consists. It's terrifying. And then I saw Adam Ruins Everything. Adam Ruins Everything. He went into detail about what the fine art community actually is now. You wonder why these paintings get sold. It's laundry. It's money laundering. Most of the business that makes these $1 million bids on these paintings, it's drug dealers and stuff laundering money. And what's more is that the auctioneers are crooked too. They'll have people out in the audience, in the auction, faking. They're paid to fake bids to push the price up. If they get stuck with it, no problem. They're working for the boss. They don't have to actually pay for it. All sorts of unbelievable, dirty pool. This is why DeviantArt is full of starving artists. Absolutely, me. I'm a cartoonist. I know that I have my fans, but I darned well know that that they're far better artists than me. I mean, I've seen stuff on DeviantArt that makes me, just even just ordinary fan art I've seen that just makes me either want to weep or sing. It's so beautiful, just absolutely marvelous work. It's one of those things you see and you say, okay, I'm fooling myself here. But seriously though, beautiful stuff. And these people struggling. Now you take J. Riley McCool. Her drawings are all in pencil. If she just had an inker, really seriously, she could. Her style is very distinctive, very charming. All she needs is an inker and a letterer. Somebody come in and touch up her work, and boom, she'd be she'd be producing comics as nice as anything on the comic the newspaper comic page. I mean, somebody with actual skill at that. I'm not very. I've tried to ink other people's work. No, 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 no. Talent is cheap. The world's full of it. Success costs blood. But I'd settle for a highly. I would settle. I don't care about grand success. I'll settle for a fiscally stable failure myself. If I could just get that. do? Well, to be fair, I don't think I could pass as a illustrator, save in the most abstract sense. I'm a, I am what I am. I accept that, you know. What I am not is, an epic tier artist. I find it when I was young, what I really wanted to be was a writer. When I was really young, because I used to read a lot and I loved books, especially science fiction and fantasy. I loved books. But I was absolutely, I was just a kid. I was an absolutely terrible writer. And but as time went by, I started doing drawing, cartooning because picture, thousand words, etc. But as time has gone by, I've found that my writing talent has advanced considerably, at least in my own opinion. Well, and there's quite a few people who read my stuff who tend to agree. Okay. I'm just, I'm just very stressed. I'm not sure what is this going to be it, you know? Is this going to be it? Is this going to be the month where everything finally crashes and burns? Is this going to be the month where I finally self destruct? You know, I'm, I'm holding on by my fingertips, and the devil's doing a tap dance on my nails. You know, it's always like this. And what's killing me is that it's probably always going to be like this, barring a divine intervention, something absolutely extraordinary coming out of completely out of left field that I don't expect. That I have, I don't even know what I would be looking for. Something completely out of left field. I want to, change my life, and I don't have enough life left in me to change it. I can't. No, no. Let's not. We're not going there. We're not gonna stay there. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna spend any time on that. We're not gonna be like that. Because, I've already had one meltdown this week. I'm not gonna do it again. No. Let's talk about something else. Anything else. So, ooh, YouTuber, what do you have on your mind that you would like to talk about? Merge layers. Okay. File, save as. Old Vic 70, PNG. Okay. One down, two to go. Send that off. And that's another strip. This is a strip for the old Vic. For Daniel Meyer and his wife. They, among other things, this guy, Daniel Meyer, man for all seasons, man. He's a computer programmer, web page designer. I'm not exactly sure what he does for the company he works for, but it's computery. He's also a long haul biker. He has a Goldwing. It's basically what a Harley hopes it grows up to be. And he rides all over the country. He and his wife bought an old Victorian mansion, which they are restoring. It's a 100-year-old house, and they're restoring it one step at a time. And he's got a webcomic called The Old Vic, which I draw and he writes, and it's semi-autobiographical. The guy has lived an interesting life, and let's just say that some of his stories, you wouldn't believe him anywhere else. Ask sometime about the story about the squirrel. It's the stuff of legends. He was out touring on his bike one day. He tried to pass through a neighborhood. There was a squirrel that basically tried to kill him. Yeah. I'm worried about us too. Jay Riley, she's hanging in there, but it's you check out her website and you can see what she's doing. She does her comic book. Her comic strip is How to Be Homeless, and it's autobiographical. And from what I understand, her son. She has a teenage son, if I'm understanding right. And it's a mess. It really is. They say everybody has a price. I wish somebody would make me an offer. I'm starting to wonder if I can actually pull off doing a low carb diet in the middle of all this other stress I've got. Because I know for a fact that, and until my, for at least a month before it's going to be weeks, months before my body, before my body fully adjusts to it, and my mood is going to be in the tank already. If there was ever a time I was going to need comfort food, this would be it. I miss being able to go out. My car, there's no battery in my car. There's no battery rack in my car. It rusted out. It needs replaced before I can even think about making it roadway. It's sitting there, just slowly rusting away. That's all it's doing. The front seat doesn't work. The front seat is broken. The driver's seat. The back is broken out. The back doors are jammed. The right rear view mirror is a broken it's a piece of junk. The I sideswiped the original model mirror off on a mailbox of all things, and I had to replace it with what I could get, and that was what I could get. And it was a beautiful old '92 touring van, and if somebody who could slap down a few $1,000s restore it, it'd be a sweet ride. It really would. But me, I can't even fit my legs down in the wheel well, below the steering wheel. I can't reach the pedals with my feet because my legs are so swollen. That's how big they are. In a van. You can imagine what a little car. My parents go, well, you want to buy a compact car? You could trade this in and get a compact car. I'm like, have you looked at me lately? But now it's just sitting out there. No insurance. The tags are expired. So is my driver's license. And on and on and on we go. It's still got boxes of junk in there I never took out of it to bring in here when I first moved here. Because I got really no place for it. It's just stuff. I don't even know what's out in there. I don't even know what's out in that van. I used to drive that thing everywhere. I love that van. I loved it. And I miss being able to go out, just go shopping. I miss being able to. But by the time I ended up home, I had to ride one of those scooters. Now I can't even imagine walking there looking like I do. I'm a circus freak now. remember going to the movies. I used to love going to the movies. Can't do that anymore. Can't do. I can't. I'm basically a shut-in. I can't do anything out. I can. I'm going to be trying to drag my trash out to the curb sometime between now and Thursday, and I'm going to risk breaking my neck doing it because I can barely get up and down the front steps. I've just lost so much. And everywhere else in my life I'm losing ground, and my roof is falling apart. My floors are falling apart. I got holes in my floor. I've got plywood panels lying everywhere to cover the holes. Over and under the carpet. It's been like 5 years since I had somebody up on the roof to spread tar up there. And desperately use it. My roof is leaking. The wiring in the house doesn't work anymore. Work properly anymore. The lights in the kitchen do not work. Back steps to my back door. The steps to my back door, they're broken down. They're rotting ruin, and I can't afford to pay somebody to replace them. I live in a mobile home up on blocks, and you have to have like wooden steps or something to come up to the door. My father built me a set of stairs for my front door. Replaced the ones that were out there. Siding's coming off the trailer again because every time a storm blows through, the skirting around the side of the trailer tears loose. Cheap crap. It's driving me is just Russ never sleeps, but I think mine's pulling overtime. It's driving me crazy. Why can't this place is supposed to have gas heat. The trailer is so old that the copper lines under the house are no longer rated for gas because they changed the standards. They were already leaking. I had to shut off the gas permanently. There's nothing left but rotted out lines into my house. I had to have the plumbing inside the house, the water plumbing. There are pipes running inside the house. I was sick of it because the pipes under the house froze anytime the temperature dropped below anything. It just and they burst, and finally I gave up, and my brother-in-law came in, Daniel Meyer again. He donated some PEX pipe to me. Fixtures, and I got the fixtures and stuff, and my brother-in-law came in and he helped me, and we put in the lines. I got water lines to the toilet, the bathtub, and the kitchen sink, and the washing machine. But the lines are all inside the house. They're running across the floor because I won't put them outside. Not anymore. I am just damn sick of having my water lines freeze. And even as it is, I have to, if the weather gets really, really cold, I have to leave the water, trickling anyway because where the water comes into the house, it'll freeze there. I'm worried to death that the water coming in through the ceiling is getting to the floor underneath my water heater. I'm scared to death, and one day I haven't been in there to check. I wouldn't know what to look for. I'm scared to death though that I'm going to wake up and I get a big crunch, and my entire water system is going to be down on the ground under my trailer one day because I was unable to get the roof patched so that the rain didn't get in. It's it never stops, and I'm not up to any of it. I'm I'm an embarrassment to my family. I must be because my grandparents, my grandfathers, both got to be looking down at me from heaven, going, "Oh my, what did they raise?" Both of them, both of my grandfathers are do-it-yourself kind of men. My father was a do-it-yourself is a do-it-yourself kind of guy. He's 70, and he's still, you know, chugging them out, doing stuff. He's got a shed out back of his house he built himself by hand. He's got a garden out in the back of his house. He plowed it by hand, well, with a rotor tool and rooter and stuff, with a till, with a gas powered till. But they plant that garden himself. He does everything himself. He repairs the house himself, repairs the plumbing himself. He just set in his 70s. Me, I'm still the can you please start the orange peel for me guy. If this were a Mormorpager, if this were a video game, this is the point where I would shut down, delete, go all the way back to my earliest save point and start over. That's how screwed up everything is. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about, anything else to say, anything else to talk about. Because, like I said, I had one meltdown yesterday, and I do not want to have another, and I really want to have a good day. I want to have a good day. It's just too much to ask these days. And this is all stressing me out, and I'm thinking this is the worst frickin' time of my life to go on a diet that is guaranteed to make my mood crash through the floor. I want a gallon. I want a box of Oreos. I want the family-sized box of Oreos. I want a gallon of milk, and I want them now. There's a Banana Splits horror movie coming out. The Banana Splits show horror movie. Uh, I was born a little bit too late to watch the Banana Splits show. But even I've seen clips of it and stuff, and I'm like, what on earth A Banana Splits horror movie? That's a horrible thing about it. The horrible thing about Hollywood is that everybody they're destined for failure. You've got all these people that run Hollywood, that are in Hollywood, and there's always scandals and there's always disastrous failures of their movies, and nothing is like they're like cockroaches. They refuse to die. They just will not die and let something better take their place. It's horrible. It's horrifying. It's Night of the Living Dead with cinema. This is the story of every creative division. Uh, the creative world is dominated by old, crusty, corrupt, domineering, totalitarian dinosaurs. If you're a comic strip artist, go open up your newspaper, look at the comic strip page. Picture those as parking spaces, okay? There are like 2 or 3 syndicates that handle all the comic strips that go in your newspaper. And they would rather have a kidney stone pulled out with pliers than change any of those comic strips. Some of those comic strips have been there longer than you've been alive. Did you know that Blondie goes all the way back to the 1920s? Blondie, the comic strip, is just shy of 100 years old. When it first came out, Blondie was a flapper. Blondie was a flapper, and Dagwood was her wealthy boyfriend. And the strip revolved around Blondie outwitting his fussy, disapproving parents to be together with Dagwood. And then one day, Dagwood finally married Blondie, and they got disowned. And this is how the current model of, Dagwood running out the front door to get to his office late ended up. Anyway, the original artist grew old and died. His replacement grew old and died, and his current Blondie's current artist is approaching retirement age. The last I heard. That comic strip, nobody thinks it's funny anymore, but it's there, and it's going to stay there until hell freezes over or until an asteroid hits the Earth. And while it stays there, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of better, funnier, more talented cartoonists are going to be born, live, and die, and never be able to compete with that stupid, antiquated fossil of a comic strip. That's the story. It is every division, the publishing industry. This is why so many people are going indie. This is why so many people are publishing comics on Amazon, comics and books and stuff on Amazon.com. Because the traditional publishers are fossilized. They're petrified. And they're failing drastically. And they still think the sun shines out their butt. The animation field, Disney everything. I'm wondering how much longer. Disney didn't die. They put his severed head in a jar, and he's been running things the exact same way ever since. In any fine art dominated by a handful of idiots and crooks. And the truly talented people of the world languish. I don't count myself greatly talented. I count myself moderately talented, averagely talented. Just somewhat talented, but I'm not. I'm a piker compared to most of the people that on the same page of DeviantArt. I'm average. I'm a C average, and and but even a guy like me could survive and thrive and prosper if the system wasn't so constipated. It's like these people have made a deal with Satan that nobody of any actual talent will ever compete with them. I've been promising myself I would look into making a PDF version of my first comic and putting it on Amazon.com. See if I could start selling it. The current setup, nobody goes to Kablam.com or Indie Planet to buy comics. Almost no sales. It's kind of pitiful. I'm going to see if it does better on Amazon. One of the things I got to do is figure out how to turn. Let's see here. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. I've got the PDFs. Now, the problem is that the last page is an Indie Planet thingy. I have no idea how to delete a page off of Indie Planet off of a PDF. How do I edit one of these things? I need to find a program to edit PDFs. I'm ready to roll. I didn't realize it. I thought I didn't have the right kind of files. I've got the right files. Zippity fraggin' doodah. I'm checking. I'm checking something out right now. I'm trying to run a program here. It's just documents. Well, that's no good. I got to figure out a way to convert a PDF file to a document to a docx file or a doc file. Okay. Ugh. I'd love for it to be on the funny pages. That'd mean I'd be syndicated and I'd have money coming in. Crap. Every time I hear about Bill Watterson, the guy that made Calvin and Hobbes, what is he doing now? It has been how many It has been decades since he drew the last strip. He just quit, and he's still coasting. What really galls me is that he turned down. He refused, and still refuses, to do any merchandising with his characters. None at all. He turned down something like several. They estimate close to several. I forget how many millions of dollars he would have made off merchandising alone. He turned it down. The stuck-up elitist snot. I'm like, I'm out here eating ramen on a bad day, and you're sitting in there, you're just too damn good to have Calvin Hobbes show up on a T-shirt or a coffee mug. You know, this is the kind of opening for like Murder, She Wrote. You know what I'm saying? And it's revealed at the end that the other cartoonist went berserk and stabbed him to death with his own ink pens. Let's see. PD. Darn it. Let's see. Let's look. PDF editor. Okay, got something here called PDF Escape. Yep. I'm going to go to all this trouble just because I have to delete 3 pages and move 3 more. PDF makes me angry too. Cumbersome, slow, difficult to edit, can't fit, just pain in the ass program, and you have to pay hundreds of dollars for the original. Come on, come on. What is my... Okay, it's not doing it. It's just sitting here looking at me going, duh. Herb derp. Herb derp herb. As long as that's uploading, I can't do anything. Something fall down, go boom. It's, program's just sitting here looking at me. Installing the main application, it got up to 99% complete. Now it's saying 3-4%. I love that. I'm seeing a crossover. I've seen several crossovers between Boku no Hero Academia and Spider-Man. Various versions of him. One I'm following that I particularly like is Friendly Foreign Exchange Student Spider-Man. The idea is that you remember at the end of Avengers Infinity War, Peter Parker, well, he died. He turned into a cloud of dust and blew away. The premise is that he didn't die. He got thrown into another universe, My Hero Academia. He wakes up in Japan, and well, basically he more or less gets adopted by Mount Lady, and enrolls. And ends up enrolling in UA alongside all the other characters, Midoriya and all the others. It's quite fun. I've been dying for an update. They're up to the sports competition from season 1. ebooks. That's not it. That's strange. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm having a little trouble finding a couple of folders here. That's the interesting thing. So let's see here. Memes for show my ebooks, Kindle content. That's not Kindle content. Memes for show, manga brushes, manga, my ebooks. The document is password frickin' protected. What the hell? There we go. No, that ain't it either. Okay, let's get all the way down here. Found it! Perfect! Now I just have to wait for it to open. It's sitting here looking at me going, duh. Okay, this is darned interesting. This is just Jim Dandy. Okay, so this should be ready to go. All right. Okay, it's ready to rock and roll. Zippity doo dah. Yippee ki yay. Ki yay yippee yo yippee yi yi yippee yay yi yippee yo yay. Okay. And it's try what one? You said nothing. That's right. Try that one. Yeah, it's working. It's working. The PDF is looking fine. I'm going to go to Amazon.com and see about publishing it with them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another thing in the to-do box. Okay, we got 4 people in channel. We got Mr. Cartoon Critic. We've got YouTuber. We've got at least one other person who hasn't announced their name yet. I'd love to be on the funny page. I'd love to be syndicated. I'd love to take that backlog and say, here, you want me to hear? Here's like 1,000 comic strips just to get you started. Okay, who all's out there? Who all's out there? Let's see. Participants. The participant things is not working right. Okay, we got Mr. Cartoon Critic. We got YouTuber 1752, and we've got myself. That leaves you. Who might you be?
Where are you from, and what do you do for a living? Ah!
Bobcat Goldthwait, Better Off Dead. Bobcat Goldthwait and One Crazy Summer.
Ha! Welcome to the Club Tokyo. I'm your host for tonight, Gazella. Hello, we're from the planet of the toes, and we bring you produce. Hello, ladies! We are here for your daughters. Ah!
It's Someday GBC. MDBC. I spelled it wrong. MDBJC. Heyo. This is just me. Just finished up a new this old Vic, the old Vic comic for Daniel Meyer and sent it off to him. Yay. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-yo-yo. I'm passing around the hat. I'm trying to raise enough money to, among other things, pay some back rent, get my roof patched. We're expecting more thunderstorms this week. I've got horrifying leaks and water stains in my roof. Ah! Like I was saying, I'm basically passing that around. I'm shaking the tin cup, trying to raise a little extra money so that I can, among other things, pay my lot rent this month and next month. That's about $500 right there, because I'm behind. I'm behind, and they don't like it when I get behind. And I'm getting further and further behind with every week. I also want to be able to patch my roof, or have somebody climb up there and pour some tar down so my roof doesn't leak, because parts of it are starting to fall down on the inside, and I don't like that. I really don't want that. I also want to be able to pay the electric bill and the internet bill and the trash bill. The trash bill this coming month is going to be $140. Basically, it boils down to all my bills next month are going to come to close $800-900, and currently pledges on Patreon are at about $400. So there's a tiny little gap there in the middle. Just a tiny bit. And I just want to remind everybody, I do pinups. I do greeting cards. Here, let me pull up.
Pull up the art and show them what the art is that you do.
I'm trying to start the program up here. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Alright. File. Open. These are just some of the pinups. This was a commission. Hey ho. Daniel Meyer likes cheesecake pictures of his wife's icon. I do portraits. I do pinups. All my prices are listed. You go to my page. You click the button at the top that says commissions, and it'll take you to a place where you can, place your order through PayPal for a commission. There is also, I got the comics and the books for sale. I'm looking to put the books on Amazon.com. Later on, I'm going to be going on Amazon and say I've got the PDF, so all I got to do is and plug it in. And hopefully that's all I've got to do. I do. This was adorable. This was an adorable little commission I had. I've never heard the Baby Shark song until I actually had to do this commission. So I'm like, I want to show a picture of I want a picture of my niece doing the Baby Shark song. I'm like, what's the Baby Shark song? And I get a link to the website. I get a link to YouTube, and it's like, oh, it's the Baby Shark song. And away we go. I've still got to do a run of those DVDs. I've got to do a run of these archive DVDs. Got to burn them out, mail them out to everybody, all my Patreon patrons. It's archive DVDs. I'm just basically going to stick everything in there and send it out. I do fancy art. I do these sexy pin-ups. You know, black and white, color. It's all digital. And see, and here we see the main reason most people want me to start drawing Goblin Hollow again. Ha 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 ha. Let's see. Desktops. Here we go. I also do desktops. I do desktops. I do cheesecake. I do desktops with cheesecake. I want cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake. Right now. This one is one of my old pictures. It's one of my favorites. She's pretty skinny looking. I'll probably, one of these days I really probably need to redraw her. But there's just something about it. There's just something about this particular picture, this desktop in particular. I don't know what. You say public fountain. The Rakonans say waiting pool. For those of you who are wondering, the little squishy alien thing is saying, "What's up?" That's hilarious, but WASSAAP. What's up? Shoe bugs. This is also one image I've been particularly proud of for a long time. I made it ages and ages and ages ago, and there really isn't much I can do to it that would improve it. This is originally what the fairies looked like in when I introduced fairy rings in Tales of the Questor. This is what the fairies in the fairy ring looked like. Excuse me. I'm starting to get a little chill in here, actually. Turn that down. Turn that off, actually. Finally a relief from the heat. It's nothing quite like living in a roasting oven, is there? And this picture is a remake of one I made ages and ages and ages and ages ago, before I was even online. As a first attempt at using a digital art program. It was really the original picture was of a little fox girl, but then I changed it and updated it. She's a little Rakonan girl now, and I'm just proud as punch of the thing, even after all these years. I'm pleased with it. I just love how it changed, how it turned out, and they say that one of the things I've learned is that the secret to world building, to making a fantasy world that people just dive into, is not to go deep. It's not to go into great detail about the inner workings of everything. The idea is to go wide, to give them a peek at all the little details and all the just take them up on the mountaintop and let them see the whole thing, so to speak, and fill the world with details. Don't explain too much, but just fill it with little details in the background, and let their imagination fill in the rest. A good example, the Dark Crystal. You watch the Dark Crystal, you see all these incredible creatures and everything. And you don't get a pages long dissertation about each one. It's like, here they are. Draw your own conclusions, and it makes the world seem so much richer. A particularly bad example of that is what George Lucas did with Star Wars in the prequels. The original Star Wars, a perfect example of keeping the details sparse. But giving a lot of details, but keeping them light. But then he came back with the prequels and went into long, laborious detail about midichlorians and just torpedoed himself. And he went into long, laborious detail about Princess Leia. What is she princess of? She's actually an electric princess, and blah 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 blah. And he ate away all the wonder and mystery of the world he'd created by overworking it. I'm guilty of that myself. I love to sit down and just pick out all little details and just go in a further and further and further detail about one particular aspect of the world I'm making, and that just makes it harder to build the rest of the world, because you got you keep it light, keep it sparse, keep it loose, but be generous with the interesting things to see. Another really, really good example of this, there is a cartoon on Netflix. There is a cartoon on Netflix called Hilda. Hilda. Watch it. Turn it on. It's about a little girl. It's just a story about a little girl who lived out in the country with her mother in a log cabin, but because of circumstances, they have to move to the big city. And she's really not happy about it. The thing of it is that they live in a fantasy world. And it is a fantasy world like none other I've ever seen. They have trolls and giants, but they do it. The creators do it absolutely different from anything else you've ever seen. And they fill it with all these incredible details. No explanation. You'll see these creatures go flying by the girl's bedroom window, and she's like, "Oh, well, must be it must be their migration season," and you're like, "What the heck were those things?" And they just move on. and it's such a rich fantasy world, and it's marvelous to look at. And it's just juices the imagination like nothing I can describe. Give a world rich in detail, but let the readers fill in the blanks. Anyway. I'm surprisingly pleased with this one. It's very simple, and yet, just right. You know what I'm saying? Little baby shark picture. Something about it just says just right. Mm. Not over detailed, not under detailed. I also like the lettering. Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark, baby fart doo 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 doo. Uh, I do these pics. I always see something that I could change. I had somebody put they literally hunted me down. And he said I had to look all over the place for a place where I could comment on you, and he was commenting in my DeviantArt collection, my DeviantArt webpage, which I almost never update and almost never check. And he went on for a couple of paragraphs about what a lousy writer I am, what a shit tier writer I am, and what a shit tier artist I am, and and how all I do is write God mode Mary Sue stories, and little puppy peeing on somebody else's porch. That's all it was. Good night. This one wasn't an easy. This one just didn't seem to want to, this one just didn't want to seem to come to life. I had to keep poking at it and tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it, and finally got it to where it was satisfactory. Just wanted to give everybody an idea of the kind of artwork I do and that I do for commissions, so on and so forth. Yeah, you heard the latest news. They're trying to do a live action version of The Little Mermaid. Who it is? They're hiring a. Are they hiring a black actress to play her, or what is it exactly? Well, she's not white. Let's put it this way. God forbid any of the characters be white. Because unless you're black, you're not a real person. You're just the oppressor. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be putting the first 3 volumes of Tales of the Questor on Amazon.com if they'll let me, if I can do it. That's what's got to be seen. if they're going to give me crap, oh, the PDF isn't in the right format or some crap like that. Wrangling with the dang thing. But we'll see. We'll see. I hate to leave now. I've got 4 people in the I've got 3 people in the audience. That makes twice what I've had before. I just because we only had 1.5 people here. But yeah, I am so incredibly tempted. Mm, let's see. I have to keep telling myself no. You can't afford to order ice cream. No, you can't. Yeah, the local the pizza place that Smitty's Pizza. Yeah, they do pizzas. They also do submarine sandwiches and salads and all taco salads and grilled chicken salads and all sorts of stuff. And they also they do side dishes like they do hamburgers and they have grilled mozzarella sticks. Oh, those would be good right now. And they also have ice cream. They do soft serve ice cream. They do milkshakes and sundaes, and they deliver. And they deliver all these things, and I'm sitting here telling myself no, no. You have $20 in one account. You have $20 in the other. You do not have money to spare for to order them in to have them just so you can have some ice cream. No, right now, let's see. Other, unless you count jelly, I've got like a little jar of my mom's raspberry jam. Unless you count preserves, I do not have any sweets in the house at the moment. I've got ingredients for oatmeal cookies, but I've got no milk. Uh, Cookies without milk. That's like a sad story you tell children. And they went to the fridge and there was no milk. But mm, they make these chili dogs there. They're great big. They're actually a chili sausage. Great big chili dogs. Just. Arrgh. I don't even have ketchup in the house at the moment. I ran out of ketchup. I keep telling the girl at the store, I want the biggest bottle of ketchup you have, and what are they? And she sends me little squeeze bottles. You know, I'm not going on a picnic with a couple of 6-year-olds here. Apparently, I have to sit her down and explain to her, look, ketchup is a food group in my household. It's an ingredient. It's not something I put a little dab of on top of my French fries, once a week. You know, I need a bigger bottle. You know, the squeezy bottle is nice, but it's not what I need. Give me the big glass jug. Good grief. Use ketchup and everything. It's an ingredient in everything for spaghetti sauce, chili. one of their big chili dogs, one of their jumbo milkshakes, or just a big cup of ice cream. They do that too. They'll put, they'll make a they pour a cup of. Oh, I'm craving it. I'm craving it. I used to make floats. I would get one of their cups of ice cream, and I'd have them deliver a 2 liter of root beer or soda, and make floats to go with my meal. I've really got to stop talking now about the food, because ah. Oh my. All right, we got 3 people on channel. It is 9:30 at night. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it an evening. Fairly moderately successful broadcast. Got the word out. I'm open for business.